Hey, welcome to Sports Unfolded, Patriots post-game show. We'll do this every week, breaking down the Patriots game. So week one, gentlemen, Patriots lose 17-16 to the Miami Dolphins. First takeaways from the game.
Well, no discipline.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the penalties, the fumbles. I mean,
so when we started talking about the preseason games, they were consistently having 9 penalties in the preseason. It carried over to the regular season today.
It certainly did.
Yeah, certainly did.
It certainly did, and it wasn't even penalties that you could understand. There was a lot of personal foul penalties that were just stupid, and it was consecutive ones that when one was on Shaq, Mason, and yeah, those are bad. Those are bad. That hurt more than anything, and it's too bad because Mac Jones played a great game. I mean, he wasn't perfect by no means, but for a rookie playing their first game, I mean, what more could you have asked? He didn't lose the ball. I think he only got sacked maybe once, if I recall.
Yeah,
once.
That was it. So so he didn't have a problem holding on to the ball too much. He didn't get picked. So he managed the game very well. And the Patriots ran the ball pretty well, except when it mattered. 2 costly fumbles in the red zone. I believe both were in the red zone, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah, that's so lack of discipline, and that's unusual for a Bill Belichick team.
Kenny?
Yeah, lack of discipline. More communication between Mac and the offensive line. And the defense did great. I think they did great.
I said my only disappointment with the defense was that, there's 3 minutes left in the game. We know Miami's going to run the ball and somehow can pick up 6 yards and then 5 yards.
That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
You know what I mean? So that part of it frustrated me. The fact that they won the time of possession 37-23 bothers me, that they almost had a full quarter more of possession and somehow couldn't get the ball in the end zone. So this team last year, we talked about it during our NFL preview show, averaged 15 points a game. They scored 16 today. And you think about all the pieces they added and everything they have on offense, and Mac Jones is going to, be the difference. It's the same offense. I mean, except now they're throwing the ball and then they can't get in the end zone.
It was his first game, so I'm not going to get on Mac Jones. Being his first game, it is what it is. Like I said, it wasn't perfect. I'm sure there were a couple of times, I can't remember the exact plays, where he had somebody else to go a little deeper, but took the easy pass.
He played it safe, and that's, I think, what they intended to do with him. And they talked about running the ball and good defense, and that was going to be what they were going to do. And then they got away from that as well.
Yeah. And it all comes down to that discipline. I'm sorry. That's where it lies. And Belichick is going to get on this team. He's going to.
Well, it was funny because as soon as Ramondre Stevenson fumbled the ball, I was texting one of my friends. I said, well, that kid's done. He's off. He was out. They didn't play him the rest of the game.
Right.
Yep. Bill's not going to play around with that.
Right. And they actually had another fumble that was recovered by Andrews, who made a great play on that. Yeah. So give credit to Andrews.
Well, that Jonnu Smith, I mean, he got flipped over. I'm surprised he didn't get hurt on that.
Oh, I understand that, but still.
That got me a little nervous. But it was nice to see the tight ends involved in the offense again. Yeah. That was a little different. We hadn't seen that. I think they already had 8 receptions.
Since, before the murders.
Yeah. There's that 14% kicking in.
Yeah, baby.
And I think I think McDaniels too could have done a little better job with some of the play calling. I felt he
Yeah,
was
well,
very conservative, and didn't challenge. Look, at the end of the day, this kid's going to have to challenge a little bit. Like, we're going to have to see what Matt can do. He showed the ability to throw the ball deep. I mean, you saw some good passes.
he made. Oh my God, what a pass! I believe it was it White going down the right side.
Oh, that way he dropped it right in the bucket.
Oh my God, what a beautiful pass! Like that, if that's what we're going to be getting in the next 10 years, I'll take it. I'll take it. I don't want to take all the losses for 10 years. So, like you said, McDaniels does have to open it up a little bit. He has to give him a little leeway. He proved himself in the preseason that he can do those things. So why all of a sudden now you're going to contain him and only give these little dinky plays that controlling the ball, and I love that. I love that they're controlling, the game, the game clock like that. But you do have to let him unload a little downfield, because if not, then you're going to just have 8 men in the box, and they're going to just do that.
You can control the game, right, from a time of possession, but you got to get 6.
Yeah,
that's got to stop.
Yeah.
If they cannot figure out, and I
and
think
that was
that's
another thing. They could have had another one, Eric, but again a holding call wiped out a touchdown. That wasn't even part of the play. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, very undisciplined. Very undisciplined. Opinions on Mac, Kenny?
Good job. But he has to learn how to throw the ball deep.
Yeah, but that might not be his fault.
Yeah, it's true. But he has.
Did anybody else notice he kind of has an awkward throwing stance though? Sometimes, like he throws like sideways and not like facing. I don't know if anybody else noticed it. I noticed it, but I also looked at it this way though. When he got pressure on him, he seemed to have the ability to still make the right read and get the ball away.
Yes.
So I mean that there's a lot of optimism with what he's going to do, but I also feel like he's got to take that when he's doing those checks, like to your point, Kenny, right? Let's look at that deep guy. Why did they pick up Aguilar if they're not going to throw it deep?
Yes.
Aguilar had a good game too.
A very good game. Seven receptions, 72 yards, I believe, and a touchdown.
But he does have an ankle injury that he's nursing, so that could be why they didn't go deep with him. But there's no excuse for like Myers.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's the play calling there.
Yeah, Jacoby Myers. I think again he reminds me a lot of Troy Brown and what they used to do with Troy Brown, and the kids got hands. He does a lot of this crossing. Kendrick Bourne, I liked his. He seems like he's shifty and he's going to do something for the team. The running backs, again are going to be the key though. Can they hold on to the ball? You can't afford to have your running back fumble each game.
No. No. Oh, they won't, because they won't be playing. And that's why you saw Bolden in there a lot late, because Bolden, I believe, I remember the first season he fumbled and then he got like benched for the next like 5 games. And since then, I think he's pretty sure with the ball. Yeah, he's not going to be like elusive and be able to get through like 2 layers of defense, but he's going to hold on to that ball. He's going to manage that ball, and it's not coming out of his arms.
So what about on the defensive side of the ball, Kenny? Anything that you noticed that stood out to you?
Yeah. Well, some sources say that Matt Patricia is the special advisor for the defense. So I know Bill's not going to fire his son, but he should be calling the plays somewhere.
I was a little disappointed that Judon looked good.
Judon seemed like everywhere.
But I felt like they didn't. They went back to this not blitzing or really trying to create some pressure at points in the game when I felt like that's when they should have done it. And it's baffling to me that you picked up that talent for a reason. So he could be that pass rusher. I was watching game and Garrett and Clowney basically both met at Patrick Mahomes at the same time. Like just that sheer pass rush. We have the ability to do that.
Right.
Why are we not sent? I used to remember Hightower, that middle blitz. And he just, off key, all of a sudden you see they didn't run that at all.
So
you know what I mean? No corner blitzes, no safety blitzes. You didn't see any of that.
Again, I got to bring it back to the play calling. Okay, like they were treating Tua like he was Aaron Rodgers. Like,
Aaron Rodgers,
given it. Well, no, but I'm just saying. All right, so they made him look. They made him.
I got you.
Like he was like Tom Brady then. Okay.
Okay.
So it's like they didn't. I don't know. It's like they just played it safe on defense as well, and it's like they just stayed back, and Miami was running the ball pretty well. They couldn't stop the run. They didn't really stop the quick pass. They didn't do any of that stuff, and not once did I feel like Tua was going to go downfield on them. So
it didn't look like they were going to try to challenge them deep at
no,
all.
and it's like so all they had to do was just do those little quick passes. Take 1-2 steps back and boom, right out on a slant. I've seen it so many times; it's ridiculous. They didn't put enough pressure on Tua. Like Tua is not a veteran that you have to be aware of, and he can, it's not Dan Marino back there, slide stepping, tackles and causing misses. When they were on him, they were on him. And there may have been 1 or 2 times where they missed a tackle on him, and that's about it.
I'm going to throw this question out to both of you. Are we starting to lose faith in Bill Belichick?
No.
I'm not either.
No.
I'm not.
I am a little bit.
Ooh.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Oh my gosh.
So I start to look at it this way. When he had Tom and he was up there at the podium and these press conferences and he didn't have to discuss much and he could deflect everything because they were winning. They didn't win last year. He still tried to be the same Bill Belichick. I caught the end of his press conference today. He's trying to be the same Bill Belichick. It's not going to work. It isn't. The fans are not going to be able to just put up with, well, we've got to play better. We've got to do at some point he has to change and understand that this isn't the same team anymore. This isn't you can get away with just skirting through every press conference and not having to give an answer to anything. How'd Mac Jones? He did okay. Okay, well, I mean, if that was your Tom Brady answer. Well, Tom played well. The team played well. We got to coach better. We've got to play better, right? It's not working anymore. You invested $163 million guaranteed this season that you were going to have a better product on the field.
So let me ask you this. So let me ask you this question, Eric. Did he say we have to coach better?
He basically said that they all have to do better.
Yeah.
They didn't do enough.
Because that's where it fell short, in my opinion. They weren't coaching this team saying, hey, stop with the penalties. You got to play discipline. I don't know if that's happening.
But how did he get away with it before? You know why he got away with it before? Because there was a quarterback there that would hold that team accountable for it. So you got a penalty. Tom made sure you knew.
Oh, yeah.
Tom was in your face.
Yeah.
And Tom became that Bill Belichick on the field. And that's why I think Bill could get away with it. I don't think he can get away with it now because it's not the same. You're right. He's supposedly this straight discipline coach, right? Don't fumble. Do the right things, right? When you need to. Your players are in the right position when they need to be. Adrian Phillips, on one of those runs, Tua has that run option, and he went right for the running back.
Oh, my God, I saw that play. I was like, what are you doing?
A Bill Belichick coach team, they stay disciplined.
They stay in their lanes.
McGinnis, one time. I think it was against the Colts.
I know what play you're talking about.
He said exactly what he needed to be to make the play because that's the difference. Belichick needs to understand, without Tom, he has to approach everything differently now. He's not getting the same.
Well, you also have to look. Okay, so back then, you had Teddy Bruschi, McGinnis, you had Ty Law, you had all these great defensive players that are very vocal. So, who do you have that's being vocal right now? Because to me, I didn't hear anything from Hightower.
No,
Like
and again, that's what guys are saying.
he was
Cody,
invisible.
Hightower, these guys, I don't see it. I don't
Neither.
see it. And I think that's where, as a head coach, you have to look at what you have in front of you now and say, look, I've got to approach this differently. Maybe you've got to call people out. Maybe you've got to start to challenge some of these guys to play better, to step up. It's not we coach better, we'll be better, we play better, right? No.
Yep.
Ramondre Stevenson fumbled the ball, cost. Damian Harris, you fumbled within the last 3 minutes of the game when we were probably going to put that ball in the end zone. It cost us the game. It's okay to say it now.
And the sad part is they didn't even need to get a touchdown to win that game.
No.
They only needed a field goal. And all you have to do is just hold on to the ball. That is the first thing you do. So hold on to the ball.
So you realize now the Miami Dolphins are in first place.
Yeah.
Because every other team in the AFC East lost.
Yeah.
So, there was a really good opportunity for us to do what we usually do, right? Get ahead and then just, keep it. Division game. This one's going to hurt. But we play next week the Jets. All right, so another division game. Let's see if better outcome. Better outcome.
So.
Yeah, there's a few teams that are looking for a better outcome.
What about the Trent Brown injury? Should we be concerned as well about that?
Yeah, of course.
So, here we get this guy back. We're like all excited again, but he was injury prone before. And
well, it's like we've been discussing for the last few weeks. What position does he play?
Tackle. Offensive line is very important. Hey, and do you see James White was important to Mac Jones? Those little dump offs,
Yeah, he had a good game.
So when we did our triple play,
that's the first thing. Well, the first thing I thought of after the two fumbles is like, well, gee, James White is now safe.
Yeah,
because James White and Bolden played much more towards the end of that game, and I wouldn't be surprised. What is it, Taylor?
JJ Taylor.
JJ Taylor. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts. To be honest with you, I would not be surprised.
Damian Harris has to start.
I don't know. That one cost more than Stevenson's fumble.
Yeah, I mean, he put up 100 yards. He looked good.
Yeah, well,
he
looked good until you fumble. You look good until you fumble, and it cost the Patriots a win.
Until it's a trend, you know what I mean? If he fumbles in his next game,
I don't know, but I would not be surprised. So Taylor will definitely play next week. I think Taylor, White, Bolden will definitely be playing more. Stevenson might not even dress.
No, he's not playing. 8 receivers had caught a pass, so that was nice. They spread the wealth. Mac Jones did a really good job there.
The receivers actually did a really good job in this game.
Yeah, no, I think, I was actually impressed with all of them. I wasn't even sure that Aguilar was going to play, and he ended up toughening out, and he played, so he looked good. Bond looked good. Myers looked good. The tight end stepped up in the second half, so we saw John and Hunt Henry both contribute, which was nice to see. Offensively, I think they'll be fine, but they've got to figure a way to get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
Defensively, I think they have to at least be creative. Be more creative. I just feel like they vanillaed that to death today.
Oh my God, it was brutally vanilla.
Boring, right? It's just send some blitzes, do some different things. I mean, you got to play
at least make it French vanilla,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Something in there.
Little place, yes.
Add a little something to it.
So before we finish it up, first off, I want to thank everybody for joining us. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We got Snossages joined us, Dark Age, Dark's Age, or Dark Sage. I got it. thank you for joining. Austin, thank you for joining on YouTube. But what do we expect next week from this team?
Well, it better be a win because it's against the Jets. So, because if you lose that game, down 0-2 already, and then losing both division games, you can't lose that game. If you lose that game, hey, they lost to Carolina Panthers. I mean, come on.
The Darnold Bowl, I told you.
Yeah.
Darnold.
Yeah. Week 1, all kinds of craziness always happens.
Yes.
True story.
Kenny, what are you looking for from the team next week?
They got to win. They have to win. Bill has to get in their face. Somebody has to, like you said, somebody has to get in their face and say, "Hey, you look, you did this, this, and this, and this, and it was wrong. You got to win."
I'm looking for more discipline.
Yeah, that's what I
mean.
gonna,
Obviously,
if they come out
more
and
discipline, and you're going to see some of the players not play as much as they do.
If I see 8 penalties again next week, I'm going to lose it. We might have to put money in the swear jar at that point because I just don't understand. So obviously next week we'll do this again. As we finish up each week, we'll do our 3 Lighthouse Award. So the Patriots have the lighthouse on top of the stadium, and basically what this will be is like the 3 stars in hockey. So you go 3, 2, 1. So who is your 3rd star?
Wait, does it have to be a Patriot?
You can 3 players, whoever you want to be. This is your call for the game. All right. So you want to lead us off, Kenny? Your 3 Lighthouse Award winners.
Woo. Mac Jones, Aguilar, and then I have the Tua.
Okay. Yeah. Who's in the Hall of Fame? Don't forget. Yes.
Tua. Hey, he had a good outing.
Yeah. Jared Goff, man, when I saw him throw the touchdown to the San Francisco 49ers, I was thinking of you, Kenny.
Yeah, and then reality happened.
Oh, he threw it to the wrong team. And I was like, there's Kenny's guy. Ron, you have 3 Lighthouse Awards.
All right, so number 3, I'm also going to go with Mac Jones. I thought he played so well, didn't deserve to lose that game. Number 2, I got to go with Judon. I mean, he seemed like he was everywhere today. Mm-hmm. Maybe Judon and Jason McCourty, because Jason McCourty from Miami had a great game. So I'll put them 2 tied for 2nd. And number 1, I got to give it to Tua. He did come into New England, and he did win the game. And, yes, I know it was a sloppy game for the Patriots, but he did come in with a full house and take it to the Patriots and beat them by 1 point because of 2 fumbles.
I picked all Patriots because I thought that's originally what we were going to do, but that's okay. So that's fine. No, that's fine. Number 3, I gave it to Mac Jones. I think, again, looked good. Didn't look rattled. So I'm excited to see that. Number 2, I gave it to Nick Folk. When a kick is your second best player, he had probably not a good thing. But again, if he doesn't kick those 3 field goals, they lose by 10. You know what I mean? Like it's just. And then right. And then I looked at Matt Judon. I thought was the number 1 player. You can see his presence, his impact. I think he's going to be a great player for us this season. But that's our 3 Lighthouse Awards. Gentlemen, this has been our Patriot post-game breakdown. Next week, we'll do it again. If they lose to the Jets, swear out.
What time's the game next week?
I believe it's a 1 o'clock game.
Okay.
I'm almost positive it's a 1 o'clock game.
Okay.
All right. Gentlemen, thanks for joining. Kenny, thank you again.
Thank you always.
Go Pats.
All right. Have a great night, everybody.
Have a good night.